Alright folks, Finn Balor is driving our imaginations crazy, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins have broken the internet once again, and we now know where that cool sword that Drew McIntyre had on Raw actually came from, and when you hear the story, you're gonna go, well, yeah, of course. Why not? I'm Rick Ucchino. Here's today's WWE News Roundup, presented by Sportskeeda. Updates about Becky Lynch's pregnancy have been relatively scarce. The man has managed to keep a very low profile since relinquishing her Raw Women's Championship to Asuka and taking time off to have her first child. She made up for lost time in a big way this week that had fans absolutely losing their mind. She dropped several photos from a pregnancy shoot on her Instagram this week. The man stood alongside the Messiah and father-to-be Seth Rollins in a few of those shots, but no offense to Seth, Becky absolutely stole the show this week. Absolutely stunning. At roughly 8 months along and almost looking unrecognizable without her trademark bright orange hair. The pair and soon-to-be trio were definitely the talk of the wrestling world this week, and by the way, it might be the last week that we see Seth Rollins for at least a while, as he is set to take time off after Survivor Series. Becky Lynch, not the only native of Ireland to make waves online this week, so did her longtime friend, Finn Balor. The NXT champion took to social media and teased forming a new club. Initially formed by AJ Styles, Balor could possibly be looking at adding the Phenomenal One to a group alongside former NXT champion Adam Cole. Taking to his official Twitter and Instagram handles, Balor shared some very interesting fan art of him alongside Styles and Cole, sporting suits with simply the title of the club. We've seen a few different incarnations of the club in WWE. Could another one be on the horizon? Probably not anytime soon. Balor and Cole both on NXT at this time. Styles, meanwhile, just got drafted to Raw. It was more likely a teaser. It was more likely a teaser to last night's NXT, where Balor seemed to align himself with the Undisputed Era, but as they say in the WWE, never say never. Let's keep this Irish train rolling here. This is what we in the business like to call a good flow. We all saw the Celtic warrior Sheamus come bearing gifts to the now two-time WWE Champion Drew McIntyre on Monday, which included a really big Scottish Claymore sword. While in the world of kayfabe, it was Sheamus giving the battle blade over to McIntyre, we now know where it really came from. Who else but Vince McMahon? In an interview with Fox's Ryan Satin, the WWE champ revealed that the sword actually belongs to the chairman himself, a gift from Triple H and Stephanie from when they were in Scotland some time ago. Apparently, the prop people were having a hard time getting their hands on a sword for Drew's entrance on Monday, when Vince said, "Hey, no worries, I've got one." The subject of this next story isn't Irish, but he did tag with an Irishman for quite a while, so let's keep this train rolling, shall we? Cesaro, one of the most athletic superstars in all of WWE and a perennial #1 choice for most people's underrated superstars list. He has had a fair amount of success though, winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, the United States Championship, and multiple tag team championships, but his road to WWE, a bit of a rocky one. He was recently a guest on Lillian Garcia's podcast and opened up about his release from the company shortly after he signed in 2006. Just weeks after signing his contract, he finished up his indie work and was getting ready to report to OVW when he got the call that he was being released. And to this day, he doesn't know why. He asked, but never got a clear answer. And even the person who hired him to this day does not know why he was released. Regardless, back to the indie scene he went, and 5 years later, he ended up in WWE anyway. And, well, folks, the buck stops here. I really can't bring this around to the country of Ireland without really stretching, so alas, I have hit a dead end, thanks to the dead man. This weekend at Survivor Series, it's supposed to be The Undertaker's farewell, 30 years after he made his debut at this very event. Now, we all know Taker has flirted with retirement before, but this time appears to be the real deal. Or is it? As a guest on The Bump this week, the former world champ had high praise for another supernatural character, the Fiend Bray Wyatt. He said he would have loved to have worked a program with him. He said due to the strength of both characters, the possibilities would be absolutely endless for the types of matches that they could have had. His idea? A buried alive swamp match from Alcatraz. It could work. Maybe. Regardless, it doesn't appear that The Undertaker has any more fights left in him, but is it possible that The Fiend and The Phenom cross paths this Sunday? Well, never say never, right?